What's up YouTube? This is going to be a fishing video on my 10 favorite baits. Top water, and this will walk across the water kind of back and forth like that. Fish go crazy for that. Techniques are to cast this through some heavy cover, or try to make a really risky cast and get it up under the bushes or something, and they'll eat that a lot, so that's a good bait. Alright, the next bait is going to be a swim bait. This one's a lake fork. This is the medium-sized minnow, and I have a little custom trailer hook on there. Just rides right underneath the belly, and you get a lot of fish with that. It's got a little weight underneath. Just keep it down a little bit deeper, and to keep the bait facing straight up the whole time. Can't fish it through that much of cover, because obviously the hook catches. Just take that little trailer hook off, and you should be good. This kills it in Florida, so if you live in Florida, buy some of these. Right, speaking of things that work good in Florida, this is a topwater frog. And when I say something that works good in Florida, I mean something that works exceptionally well in Florida, because everything works good in Florida. You can catch a fish with a pencil if you threw it on a hook. It has the same action as a topwater bait fish, unless you're fishing it over top of weeds or anything like that. You can just pull it across and the fish usually will bite it. This one's really good. It has a good hookup ratio, for me at least. I throw it on heavy braided line. That one's good. And the best color I've had with this frog is a tropic white spur frog color, and it's one of the open mouth ones. That's my favorite frog. Not the pointed tip, but one of the ones that has the mouth on it. Usually something big will come and eat that. The bigger the frog, the bigger the fish usually. But you can have some small ones on this too. Classic. This is a culprit black and silver worm. And let's see. It's not a big worm or anything, even though I will recommend using bigger worms. Up to 12-inch worms. And just buy some jelly worms from Walmart. They work just fine. You would think a little fish can't eat that, but I catch half-pounders on big-ass 12-inch worms. But there's a lot of different colors of worms out there for you. I'll show you a different color real quick, because this one's kind of plain. Alright, these worms here, this is a tomato color. Tomato is a good color when it's there's a lot of light out, when it's really bright. Have good luck with this. In some stained water, maybe a little bit murky. It's a good color. And these worms are used usually specifically for when fish are spawning. Just glows. These will piss the fish off, especially if it's on bed. Just wiggle that a little bit at the bottom, right in the nest, make some dirt come up. Alright, the next bait is just like a worm, but it has some arms on it. It's a lizard. Lizards are very good. Just throw them out there, maybe with a small 1/4 ounce weight, just something real small. Just throw it out there and let it sink. Just leave it there for like a minute, and then just start to move it really slow, and just give it small jerks, let it sit, and then small jerks, and let it sit. Just keep doing that. It's kind of important to let it sink when you throw it out there, because a lot of the times fish are used to people throwing baits out there and just retrieving them, so they know what that looks like, and it makes it look a little bit different to them. And this is a buzz bait. This is one that I customized. This actual buzzer part right here is from Walmart. Also, I bought the catfish hooks that they have there at Walmart. What I have on there is just a small piece of plastic from a toothpaste container, or like a little squeeze thing. You just cut the very end off where you squeeze the stuff out. It gets flat at the bottom. You just cut a little piece of that, put it on there, and that doesn't come off. Keeps your trailer hook on there nice and good. And this is just a little fluorescent trailer that I bought at Walmart. All my stuff comes from Walmart. I mean, you can talk all the crap you want about Walmart, but it has some good fishing stuff. So, alright, next bait is a fluke. And this bait recently for me has been absolutely like killing it. throwing it out there and catching them. You can see there's bite marks in there. I don't know if you can see that. Try to get the glare. Bite marks right there. Right on the side of it, the left side, near my thumb. They tear this up. This is a watermelon color. This has been working good. But you can throw a glow tail, basically a white fluke with a fluorescent yellow tail, but it's really good because it gathers all the sunlight, puts it into the bait, and then when it goes into a little dark spot, it'll be glowing. Catch a lot of fish. And when you swim this, when you work it, throw it out there, let it sink for 3 or 4 seconds, just pull it one big time, move the tip of your rod probably like 2 feet, let that bait swing, and it'll swing sideways and just shoot out. You just let it sit again. 3 or 4 seconds later, do it again, and just keep doing it. And you catch a lot of fish doing that. So if you have trouble catching something, go to Walmart and buy some of these flukes and just do that, and you'll get something. Alright, next bait is a crankbait. This is a KVD 1.5. See the orange? There you go. You can see that. That seems to attract them. You know, this one's good all around. Not just this bait right here, but you can switch the sizes up. Put a little bit of a deeper diver on there. You gotta find the right zone. And when I'm looking for them, I work from the top. So I'll use a shallower crankbait, and I'll just fish it out there. And if I'm not getting any, I'll put a deeper one on there. If I'm still not hitting the bottom, I'll just keep going deeper until I get to the bottom. Try to reel it. You can give it jerks if you want. Fishing in cover, you don't want to jerk it a lot because it's going to go to the side and maybe catch branches. Whereas if you fish it straight, the bill usually will pop you over all the branches. You know, this is a fish catcher, especially the big ones. The right time of year, if you throw a big deep one in the summertime in the right spot, you know, right on underwater cliff edges, creek beds and all that stuff, underwater structure, you can get a lot of fish with a crankbait. This is my #1. I know I said it wasn't a countdown, but this is my favorite bait. It's actually weird because I never fished a jig a lot until recently. And I just threw this one day, threw it today actually. I just bought a right-handed reel, and I've been fishing left-handed my whole life, so I had to relearn today, or I started to relearn. I haven't learned it yet. Still having trouble casting. It feels awkward, but this is the jig I was throwing. It wasn't actually this one, it was a different color. You know, there's a KVD Perfect Plastic trailer on there. If you don't know what a jig is, you don't buy it like this. When you buy it, it comes looking like this. It has nothing on it. You can see that. I took the little trailer off of it. No trailer. Just the hook and the skirt. And when you put the trailer on it, the KVD Perfect Plastic trailer, I mean, you don't have to get that one, that's the one this is. Now that looks a lot better. And some good ways to fish this. You throw it on some stumps, any kind of wood you can find. Just throw it out there. Try to land it gently right next to the wood. Maybe even if you can land it on top of the wood, that would be perfect, because then you can just crawl it into the water and the fish think that's completely natural, and they usually bite it when you do that. You just let it fall off there and let it sink. Just let it go to the bottom. And if nothing picks it up, just pull it up one time real fast, and then it'll sink back down, and then just leave it. And then pull it up again. You can do it slow, or you can speed it up. You know, you can swim it through the water, like almost use it as like a wake bait or a top water, and fish it really fast. I caught one doing that today. These legs will kick a little bit, so you can catch them. It's kind of like a swim bait. This one's obviously not a swim bait, but another thing is you can throw this in like light vegetation, like really spaced out, maybe like twigs or something. Let it sink down there, and then pull it up and down, kind of like punching a little bit, but not really. Oh yeah, that's another thing. If you don't know what punching is, look it up and try it if you have the right kind of vegetation to fish, because there's a lot of fish that are inside the grass mats, and you can't even fish them because they're underneath there the whole time, and that'll get you inside. My favorite creature bait is probably a Gary Yamamoto flapping hog. I mean, I've caught big fish doing that here on Lake Kedron. It's got a lot of hydrilla, so you can fish it in there with a 1 ounce tungsten weight. Just use a little bobber stopper to keep your weight on there. I mean, I use a special kind of hook, I forgot the name. You tie a snell knot on there, and that works really good. But I hope this video helped y'all a little bit, get an idea for bass fishing, because it's really fun once you can start catching them.